Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is RS Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts India's relationship with partner countries is based on principles of mutual development and trust. India says disengagement process along the LAC has not yet been completed, although there has been some progress. COVID-19 recoveries crossed the 1 million mark in the country. Recovery rate improves to 64.44%. Nagaland extends lockdown in the state till the 31st of August. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank says new national education policy will transform school and higher education systems across the country. Phase 5 of Vande Bharat mission to start from the 1st of August to repatriate Indians from 23 countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India's relationship with partner countries is based on principles of mutual development and trust. He said India never commits into any relationship considering the financial implications or profitability. Prime Minister Modi was speaking today after jointly inaugurating the new Supreme Court building of Mauritius with his Mauritian counterpart Praveen Jagnauth. The inauguration took place through video conferencing in the presence of senior members of the judiciary from Mauritius and other dignitaries from both the countries.
History has taught us that in the name of development partnerships, nations were forced into dependence partnerships. It gave rise to colonial and imperial rule. It gave rise to global power blocks, and humanity suffered. For India, the most fundamental principle in development cooperation is respecting our partners. That is why our development cooperation does not come with any conditions. It is not influenced by political or commercial considerations.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the government and people of Mauritius for effective management of containment of the global pandemic in the island country.
I congratulate the government and people of Mauritius for effective management of the COVID-19 global pandemic. I am happy that India was able to support this effort through timely supplies of medicines and sharing of experience.
The Prime Minister hailed India's special friendship bond with Mauritius and termed it as one which is based on deep-rooted cultural linkages. Mr. Modi reiterated India's commitment to the vision Sagar, which was enunciated by him in 2015. Sagar, which stands for security and growth for all in the region, is India's high-level articulation towards its vision of participatory developmental works in the Indian Ocean. Prime Minister of Mauritius, Praveen Jagnauth, speaking after the inauguration of the newly constructed Supreme Court building, said India has always been helpful in developmental goals of Mauritius. Mr. Jagnauth thanked India for the support towards completion of major developmental projects in the country. The Supreme Court building has been constructed with Indian grant assistance of $30 million and has been constructed under the India Assisted Infrastructure Project in the capital city of Port Louis after the outbreak of coronavirus.
External Affairs Ministry today said the new Supreme Court building in Mauritius is another landmark project completed under India's development partnership. Briefing media this evening, Ministry spokesperson said this is an example of India's ability to implement such projects in various parts of the world. He said the project has been completed on schedule and at a cost below the initial estimates. India is making development partnerships that are marked by respect for partners, diversity, care for the future and sustainable development. Mr. Srivastava said India's development partnership footprint transcends the globe and includes successfully completed diverse projects like a major housing project in Sri Lanka, the Parliament building in Afghanistan, Mahatma Gandhi Convention Center in Niger, and improvement in health services through the Emergency and Trauma Hospital in Nepal. India today said the disengagement process along the LAC has not yet been completed, although there has been some progress. Briefing media this evening, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava said the senior commanders of India and China will be meeting in near future to work out steps in this regard. He said the maintenance of peace and tranquility in the border areas is the basis of bilateral relationship. The spokesperson said India therefore expects that the Chinese side will sincerely work together for complete disengagement and de-escalation and full restoration of peace and tranquility in the border areas at the earliest as agreed to by the special representatives.
You would have seen our press release which we issued after the 17th meeting of the WMCC, where we said that the two sides reviewed the situation in the India-China border areas along the line of actual control in the western sector. They agreed that early and complete disengagement of the troops along the line of actual control and de-escalation from India-China border areas in accordance with bilateral agreement and protocols and full restoration of peace and tranquility was essential for smooth overall development of bilateral relations.
The Health Ministry today said that the COVID-19 recoveries have crossed the 1 million mark in the country. Briefing media in New Delhi today, officer on special duty in the Health Ministry said it was possible due to the selfless work, dedication and commitment to duty shown by our doctors, nurses and frontline Medicare workers. He said recovery rate among COVID-19 patients increased from 7.85% in April to 64.44% today. He said the recoveries are 1.9 times the number of active cases of COVID-19. The Health Ministry official said effective clinical management led to decline in COVID-19 case fatality rate from 3.33% on 18th of June to 2.21% yesterday. He said due to enhanced testing infrastructure, on an average 468,263 COVID-19 tests conducted daily from 26 to 30th July. The Health Ministry official said from 88 lakh total COVID-19 tests till the 1st of July, around 1 crore tests have been done in this month, leading to a cumulative number of more than 1.81 crore tests till today. He informed that less than 10% COVID-19 positivity rate in 21 states and union territories. Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir have less than 5% positivity rate. Union Home Ministry has issued new guidelines for opening up of more activities in areas outside the containment zones. The process of phased reopening of activities has been extended further in Unlock 3, which will come into effect from the 1st of next month. The new guidelines issued yesterday are based on feedback received from states and union territories and extensive consultations held with related central ministries and departments. Activities in the containment zones shall be monitored strictly by state and UT authorities, and the guidelines relating to containment measures in these zones shall be strictly implemented. The Health Ministry will monitor the proper delineation of containment zones and implementation of the containment measures. States and UTs, based on their assessment of the situation, may prohibit certain activities outside the containment zones or impose such restrictions as deemed necessary. However, there shall be no restriction on interstate and intrastate movement of persons and goods.
In Gujarat, the state government today announced some relaxations regarding the guidelines issued for Unlock 3. Our correspondent reports that a high-level meeting was chaired by Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and Deputy CM Nitin Patel in Gandhinagar in this regard.
As per the decision made in the meeting, Chief Minister announced relaxation from the night curfew in the state from 1st of August. Shop can remain open till 8 p.m. while hotels and restaurants can remain open till 10 p.m. As per the guidelines and SOP issued by the central government, gym and yoga centers will reopen from 5th of August. Mr. Rupani said the state government will follow the Unlock 3 guidelines issued by the central government. Aparna Khun, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Nagaland government has extended the lockdown in the state till 31st of August. The decision was taken during a high-powered committee HPC on COVID-19 meeting held today. More from our correspondent.
As Nagaland COVID-19 positive cases continue to surge, the Nagaland government extended the ongoing lockdown till 31st August. Minister for Planning and Coordination, Niba Krondo, who is also the government spokesperson for COVID-19, informed that the High Power Committee, HPC, on COVID-19 today decided to continue the ongoing lockdown measures in Nagaland till August 31. The HPC also reiterated that empowerment of the District Task Force on COVID-19 to take decisions on extension or imposition of total lockdown in the respective districts. Schools and colleges to remain closed during the lockdown. Meanwhile, 48 fresh cases of COVID-19 has been reported today in Nagaland, taking the total confirmed cases to 1,561. For AIR News, this is Afanyo from Kohima.
In Tripura, the state government has extended the statewide complete lockdown for another 5 days till the 4th of August. Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev said 3 days of lockdown is not enough to break the chain of the pandemic. He said if continuous lockdown is not enforced, then it would have no meaning. Mr. Dev appealed to the people to maintain social distancing, wearing masks and hand washing. He said only awareness can save everyone from the virus. So far, the COVID had claimed 21 lives in the state. The lockdown in Tamil Nadu has been extended till August 31st. In a statement in Chennai, Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy said that full lockdown will be enforced on all the Sundays in the month of August, just like in July. Outside containment areas in Chennai, offices are permitted to operate with 75% of staff, which was earlier restricted to half of the total strength. Meanwhile, the total COVID-19 infection in the state has gone up to nearly 240,000, with 5,864 people testing positive today. More from our correspondent.
For August, there is no change in the existing restrictions on public transport, including air and rail services in Tamil Nadu. E-Pass is mandatory to travel from one district to another and from one state to the other. Provision and vegetable shops have been permitted to operate for an additional 1 hour from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Places of worship in rural areas with an annual income of up to 10,000 rupees are allowed to be kept open, while others will remain out of bounds for the public. The decision on the extension of the lockdown has been arrived at after the Chief Minister spoke to 12 different teams of officials, medical experts and the district collectors, and after the Union Home Ministry announced its guidelines. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
In the backdrop of rising number of COVID-19 cases in Pune district of Maharashtra, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today visited the district and held a review meeting with various officials of the civic bodies. Guardian Minister of the district and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar and other ministers were present in the meeting. The Chief Minister directed the officials as well as the elected representatives to work with proper coordination to control the spread of the global pandemic. More from our correspondent.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray today underlined the need of collective efforts to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases and death rate in Pune. While listening to various suggestions from the ministers, civic officials and public representatives in the district, he directed to maintain better coordination among administration, public representatives and citizens. Uddhav Thackeray also said that the private lab must submit their test reports to the civic bodies instead of giving them directly to the patients, as the patients try to avoid hospitalization and their negligence is increasing the death rate in the district. He also urged the civic bodies to take initiative to increase the number of beds for COVID patients and assured to give all possible assistance to them. Shailesh Patil, AR News, Mumbai.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Nandakumar, Professor of Psychiatry, AIIMS, suggested people to stay at home, spend time with family members and practice yoga.
Stay at home, spend time with the family, do household work, exercise, listen to music, sing with the family, do yoga, meditation and take care of emotional needs of the family.
Jammu and Kashmir administration has considerably boosted and upgraded the health sector for ensuring providing better healthcare facilities to the people of the Union Territory. Apart from the previously established government medical colleges at Jammu and Srinagar, the government established 5 new medical colleges in Jammu and Kashmir with modern infrastructure. Enormous steps and initiatives were taken to provide the best infrastructure, equipment and human resources to the people in the newly established medical colleges as per the MCI guidelines. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
After getting the nod from the Union Health Ministry, Health and Medical Education Department of Jammu and Kashmir established 5 new medical colleges in Jammu and Kashmir at Baramulla, Anantnag, Doda, Kutwa and Rajouri. These medical colleges not only caters to the healthcare needs of the people, but also imparts training to more than 1,400 paramedical aspirants. Following the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, these medical colleges have proven a boon for the people of Jammu and Kashmir and have been at the forefront by providing uninterrupted services to COVID-affected patients. The government is also willing to set up corona testing labs in these colleges with modern infrastructure to tackle the prevailing situation. Meanwhile, under Mission Indradhanush, a significant number of women and children have been vaccinated in Jammu, apart from 2 aspirational districts like Baramulla and Kupwara in the North Kashmir. This is Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana has become a ray of hope in the northern frontiers of the Himalayas. People who are cut off for 6 months from the rest of the world with limited resources have proportionate income sources in Ladakh. The sparsely populated region has its challenges in health services. However, ever since the launch of the world's biggest healthcare program, Ayushman Bharat, medical attention has been taken care of by the program in Ladakh region. Here is a report.
Ayushman Bharat is progressing steadily in Ladakh region. Over 70% of people in Leh and Kargil have been issued golden cards of Ayushman Bharat. Those who are not covered according to the 2011 census but eligible for the benefit under the program are specially covered by the PM's intervention. In Ladakh, 10 public hospitals are empaneled to avail the health and medical benefits under Ayushman Bharat scheme. In the cashless transactions, patients have to carry the golden card, get admitted and walk out from the hospital after the treatment. Entire process of Ayushman Bharat is seamless and hassle-free for the beneficiaries. A Ladakhi woman who is undergoing dialysis for kidney ailments twice a week is full price of Ayushman Bharat.
ये गोल्डन कार्ड से बहुत फायदा मिलता है. इधर हमको फ्री में डायलिसिस का सकते हैं. नहीं तो दिल्ली में बहुत खर्चा होता है. सीजीएस कार्ड से दवाई मिलता है. मेहरबान गवर्नमेंट की मेहरबानी से अभी तक जिया है. नहीं तो किडनी का खर्चा कहाँ से लगा है.
With Untitled in Kargil, this is Ramesh Chandra from Leh.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts India's relationship with partner countries is based on principles of mutual development and trust. India says this engagement process along LAC has not yet been completed, although there has been some progress. COVID-19 recoveries cross 1 million mark in the country. Recovery rate improves to 64.44%. Nagaland extends lockdown in the state till 31st of August. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank says new national education policy will transform school and higher education systems across the country. Phase 5 of Vande Bharat mission to start from 1st of August to repatriate Indians from 23 countries. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank today said the new National Education Policy 2020 will pave the way for the revolutionary change in school and higher education systems in the country. He said this policy will establish India as a superpower of knowledge at the world stage. In an exclusive interview with AIR News today, Mr. Nishank said the aim of this new education policy is to open the door of opportunity for every child so that their holistic development can be ensured.
ये जो नई शिक्षा नीति 2020 आ रही है, ये जहाँ अंतिम छोर के बच्चे को पूरी विकास की संभावनाओं को देगी, वहीं विविध क्षेत्रों में आगे बढ़कर के अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर भारत का न केवल स्वाभिमान सम्मान बढ़ाएगी, बल्कि जो हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने $5 ट्रिलियन की अर्थव्यवस्था की बात की है, कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात की है, इन दोनों को करने में ये जो नई शिक्षा नीति है, वो निश्चित रूप में एक आधारशिला बनेगी.
The minister said focus will be given to the extracurricular activities and skill development of the children from the class of 6th so that they can attain skills by the end of class 12th. He said interdisciplinary studies will be promoted in higher education by making it more flexible.
और कौशल विकास भी 6वीं कक्षा से हम शुरू करेंगे और इंटर्नशिप के साथ शुरू करेंगे, ताकि 12वीं तक जाते जाते बच्चा कुछ उसके हाथ में ऐसा कौशल आए कि वो अपने को असहाय महसूस न करे, बल्कि 12वीं से निकलते ही वो अपने कदमों पर खड़ा हो सके. तो ऐसी कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस 6वीं से ही शुरू कर रही सीबीएसई, और संभवतः ये दुनिया का पहला ऐसा देश होगा जो 6वीं से ही उसको शुरू करेगा.
Mr. Nishank said a higher education commission will be set up which will subsume the educational bodies like UGC, NCTE and AICTE. The full interview can be heard tonight in the Spotlight program on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. In Madhya Pradesh, academicians of the state have welcomed the new National Education Policy 2020. They say that this will pave the way for revolutionary change in the schools and higher education system of the country. More from our correspondent.
Appreciating the new education policy, the academicians of Madhya Pradesh said that this will bring a complete change in the field of education. Vice Chancellor of Dr. Hari Singh Gaur, Central University Sagar, Professor R.P. Tiwari has said that the nation definitely needed such an innovative education policy.
इसमें इतने ज़्यादा सिस्टमिक चेंजेस हैं जो कि सिस्टम में परिवर्तन लाने वाले, जिससे कि हमारे विद्यार्थियों में पढ़ने में रुचि होगी, ये बहुत आवश्यक है.
Dr. Raghavendra Mishra, Associate Professor of Indira Gandhi Tribal University, Amarkantak, said that the new education policy will yield pleasant result in the future. Dr. Sonali Nargunde, Head of Journalism Department at Devi Ahilya University, Indore, described the new education policy as a good step. Academicians believe that the new education policy will open doors of possibilities for every child. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Phase 5 of the Vande Bharat mission is scheduled to start from the 1st of August. A total of 792 flights, which include 692 international flights and 100 domestic flights, have been scheduled under this phase to repatriate Indians from 23 countries. These include GCC countries, US, Canada, UK, Germany, France, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, China, Israel and Kyrgyzstan. Briefing media this evening, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Srivastava said these flights would cater to 21 different airports in India and repatriate a total of 130,000 Indians stranded abroad. A total of 878,921 Indian nationals have returned till yesterday so far under the mission. Of these, 107,452 Indians have returned from Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Pakistan and Bangladesh through land borders. In Bihar, the flood situation has turned critical as swollen Gandak, Bagmati and Kamla Balan rivers have inundated fresh areas. Two more districts, Siwan and Madhubani, have come under the impact of flood. With this, 40 lakh people of 14 districts spread over 972 panchayats are reeling under the impact of flood. The worst affected district is Darbhanga, where about 14 lakh people are facing hardship of flood flurry. The other affected districts are Gopalganj, Saran, Samastipur, West Champaran and Sitamarhi. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has instructed to step up relief and rescue operations in flood-affected areas. Mr. Kumar asked the officials to provide all necessary health facilities and antigen tests to all people staying in the flood relief camps. He also asked for increasing the supply of rapid antigen kits in flood-affected areas. Gandak, Ganga, Mahananda and Kosi rivers are flowing above the danger mark. Met Department has forecast heavy rainfall in catchment areas of Nepal and across the state in next 48 hours. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has condoled the passing away of Padma Shri awardee Ren Sonam Shering Lepcha. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said Ren Sonam Shering Lepcha was a multifaceted personality who made outstanding efforts to popularize the great Lepcha culture. Mr. Modi said his works are respected across generations. Sikkim Chief Minister P.S. Tamang has extended condolences on the passing away of Lepcha folk musician, composer and lyricist Sonam Shering Lepcha at the age of 92 today. In a social media post, Mr. Tamang said that Sonam Shering Lepcha was the first person from the Lepcha community to be aired on All India Radio in 1960. He was also known for promoting and reviving the Lepcha culture. Sonam Shering Lepcha was awarded the prestigious Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 1995 and the Padma Shri in 2007 for his contribution to folk music.
Amid the ongoing political crisis in the state, the Rajasthan High Court today issued notices to the Speaker and the Secretary of the Assembly and concerned MLAs regarding the merger of 6 MLAs of the Bahujan Samaj Party into the Congress. Hearing the petitions of BJP MLA Madan Dilawar and Bahujan Samaj Party Justice Mahendra Goyal has asked all the parties to submit their reply by the 11th of August. Mr. Dilawar had filed a petition before Speaker C.P. Joshi regarding the merger of BSP MLAs with the Congress, which was rejected by the Speaker. Mr. Dilawar has challenged the Speaker's decision in the High Court. Yesterday, the BSP also filed a petition in this matter, which has been accepted and attached with Mr. Dilawar's petition. Around 1,000 Muslims converged at the plains of Arafat in Saudi Arabia today as part of downsized pilgrimage due to coronavirus pandemic globally for the main ritual of Hajj. The mask-clad pilgrims wearing ihram or seamless white robes listened to the Hajj sermon and offered afternoon and midday prayers together at Nimra Mosque while maintaining physical distance. Hajj pilgrims will now be leaving for Muzdalifah and offer evening and night prayers together. They will spend the night there under the open sky and will return to Mina tomorrow morning for animal sacrifice and symbolic stoning of the devil. Union Minister Piyush Goyal today said the government is aiming to cover the nation's length and breadth in optic fibers within the next 2 years. Mr. Goyal said digital is the way forward. Inaugurating CII National Digital Conference on Ease of Doing Business for Atmanirbhar Bharat, the minister emphasized that slowly but surely single window concept will be achieved. He urged both industry and government that should work together as partners, and industry will have to play a proactive role in helping government identify the tax evaders. The minister said that he is dedicated to policy simplification and asked for the industry's feedback in areas where policy stability is possible. The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Avdesh Sharma, Senior Psychiatrist, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 0112-331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:10 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
In Assam, the District Disaster Management Authorities will prepare and submit flood damages reports to the concerned authority for compensation. Talking to AIR News, Revenue and Disaster Management Minister Jogen Mohan said that compensation to the flood-hit people will be given as per norms. The minister informed that steps are being taken to compensate for the losses caused by erosion. He said that the state cabinet will take a decision in this regard. Mr. Mohan said that 4 senior-level officials have been deployed to assist flood-affected districts. 15 lakh people are still marooned in the current wave of floods, though the situation is improving. Now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital, Delhi, may have thunderstorm with rain tomorrow. It will have a minimum temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius and maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will experience a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius and the maximum temperature will be around 27 degrees. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 27 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 34 degrees. To the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius in Jammu while the maximum will be around 33 degrees Celsius. The city will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 18 degrees while the maximum will be 31 degrees. The city will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 15 and 29 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 17 and 34 degrees Celsius. It will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. In Muzaffarabad, there will be generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius, while the maximum temperature will be around 31 degrees. Chandigarh will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the city will be 25 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 31 degrees. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. The city will have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts India's relationship with partner countries is based on principles of mutual development and trust. India says disengagement process along the LOC has not yet been completed, although there has been some progress. COVID-19 recoveries crossed the 1 million mark in the country. Recovery rate improves to 64.44%. Nagaland extends lockdown in the state till the 31st of August. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank says new national education policy will transform school and higher education systems across the country. Phase 5 of the Vande Bharat mission to start from the 1st of August to repatriate Indians from 23 countries. And that's all in the evening news. Good night.